Today we're going to be diving into the world of Magic in a different way. Usually it's with a card trick, but today we're going to be taking a look at 3 card forces that'll blow your audience's mind. Whether you're a beginner or seasoned magician, these techniques are guaranteed to elevate your effects. Are you ready to become the life of the party? Before we jump in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss another magical moment. For those of you who aren't familiar with card forces, they're just that. They give you the ability to force your audience to pick any card of your choosing, and the implications of that, huge. For all of these tricks, by the way, we're going to be forcing the Joker. The first one is something simple I came up with while messing around with cards. It's simple, yet powerful. Let's start off nice and easy. We'll give the deck a couple of cuts and have an audience member name any number between 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. They pick the number 5, for example, we count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the card at this position will be our forced card, the Joker. Starting with this one, you're going to grab the 5, 4, 3, 2, and the card you're going to be forcing is going to be in the 5th position. You put all these cards right on top of the deck with the 5 being on top and the card you're forcing, of course, in the 5th position. You want to give the deck either a false cut, false shuffle, or something, maintaining this packet of 5 cards on the top. Here's a simple false cut that you can use. I take about a third of the deck, swing cut it over into my other hand. So thumb on bottom, middle finger, ring finger on top, index finger on the top as well. It's going to break off about a third of the deck. Pass it on off to the other hand, break off the half of the remaining, toss it over to the other hand, grab a pinky break right here, put it on top of that pinky break, just like this. This is going to go down here, everything above the pinky break, on top of that, and everything else on top of that. Up to speed, it looks like this, very believable, and of course the top 5 cards are still maintained. Once you have your setup, you ask the spectator to select a number between 1 to 5. If they select the number 5, you just deal down to the card. That's amazing. If they select the number 4, for example, or let's just say they select the number 3, you're going to count 1, 2, turn over the 3rd card, and you're going to see it's the number 3. So you say we're going to use this as an indicator card, and you're going to count 1, 2, 3, and the card at that 3rd position, or if you want to count, you can count backwards, 3, 2, 1, and the card at the 1st position will be the forced card. Feel free to jazz this up, but even by itself, it works. This next one is one of my all-time favorites. It is known as the Cull Force. Let's start by giving the deck a quick little shuffle, and once everyone has been satisfied, we're going to select a card in a fairly normal way. I'm going to go through the cards like this. Wherever the spectator calls out stop, that's the card that we're going to select. So as I go through like this, spectator calls out stop, let's just say right around here. We're going to stop, take a look at the bottommost card, and of course that is our forced card, the Joker. You probably guessed it, the Cull Force depends on the cull. You can do the same thing we talked about from the first force, give the deck maybe a false cut or shuffle or something that you like, and then you can begin. Say you're going to go through the cards like this as the spectator calls out stop, whatever they like. Now, when you're doing the cull, here's what the move cull looks like, by the way. I like to cull the 4th card. Cull the 4th card, I'll show you again what that means. For example, I have the card that I'm forcing in the 4th position from the top. As I go through, I'm going to take this card, and using my middle finger and ring finger, you have my thumb, by the way, my thumb is on top holding the card in front of it. I'm going to pull this card back out like this. So from the front view, we have this, pull that card back out like this. Make sure not to expose it on top or bottom. Try to pull as straight as you can to not expose it. And then all the cards that you go after that are going to go underneath that card like this. And that's where you have the cull, wherever the spectator calls out stop. You stop here, all the cards are underneath that culled card, square everything up, and of course normally this would be facing the other way, but I just did it face up for demonstration purposes, and you'll see that's the card that's being forced. Let me go through in a bit more detail because this is a difficult move. Of course, the card you're forcing is 4th from the top. You're going to pass cards over 1, 2, and then you're going to pass the next 2 cards over as almost 1. So not 1 exactly, but close to 1. So you push over 1, 2, then you push over card 3 and 4. As you push over card 3 and 4, your thumb's on top of card 3, making it a bit easier to pull out from the back. So this gets pulled out like this. Again, if you don't keep your thumb here, this card's going to go with it. So it's important to keep your thumb on top as you pull this card out. Then, of course, make sure that this card is cleared, that corner of the card, and you push everything else underneath as you keep pushing. The other thing to realize is as I'm spreading the cards, this hand's not doing a whole lot of movement. It moves in the beginning to pull this, but after that, this hand just feeds all the cards underneath, and wherever the spectator calls stop, square everything up to show the forced card. This looks so fair that no one would even expect it. This last one still boggles my mind to this day. It's so easy to do, and for some reason, no one ever catches it. This is the crosscut force. I could do this all day long and nothing else would even matter. We start by handing the deck off to the spectator and ask them to give the deck a cut. Now they can cut near the top, near the center, near the bottom, wherever they want to do, but they give the deck a cut and we're going to mark the spot where they cut to with the other half of the deck. Now, I knew exactly, even though the spectator had free will, I knew exactly where they were going to cut to. So much so that I wrote a prediction down and put it in my pocket. Now the thing is, apparently I have lost it. So I'm going to tell you, the prediction that I had written down was the Joker. Check it out. If we take a look, the spot exactly where the spectator cut to, the card right here is the Joker. I honestly think this one's my favorite because it's the most technically easy by far. So what you want is the card you're forcing on top of the deck. In my performance, what I did is I had the card on the bottom, and then as I shuffled, I just kept going until I just had one card remaining in my hand, and then I peeled that off and put it on top of the deck. So you can start off like that if you'd like. Now, to start, hand the deck off to the spectator, have them cut the cards wherever they'd like. So they cut the cards, let's just say somewhere around here, put that down. Now immediately, you want to grab the other half, and this is why it's called the crosscut force. You turn this perpendicular to this packet, so if this was horizontal or this was vertical, you make this one, boop, horizontal, put it right on top of there. From here, this is where a lot of misdirection needs to happen, or what I like to call a time delay. So have some kind of monologue or some kind of patter ready that you're talking throughout this whole process, so people aren't going to focus as much on what just happened here. Because all you really did was have them cut the deck and mark just like this. They might be thinking you're going to have them select this card, right? Because maybe that was cut, but that was also the bottom card. So you can either go this card or this card, right? So you mark the spot here, and then after maybe like 30, 40 seconds of talking, you remove this, have the spectator pick up the card themselves, and of course, that is the forced card. You won't believe how well this works, trust me, it is all in the presentation. So there you have it, 3 incredible card forces to take your magic to the next level. Just remember to keep on practicing to really hone in your skills. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and share it with other aspiring magicians. And let me know down in the comments, which force are you excited to try? As always, a huge shout out to all my Patreon producers, and thank you, love you, see you soon.